Welcome, friends. It's been a minute. I have been away and I took the summer off, which was wonderful. I've been traveling and having a great time, enjoying, relaxing, refreshing, renewing, all the wonderful things. So I will be sharing more about my travels with you guys a little bit later. But all of my wonderful friends have been saying, where are you? We miss you. It's time for you to come back. So here we are entering the fall. Summer's over. We've had a wonderful, wonderful, blessed time. So now let's get back to cooking. So today I am going to share with you one of my favorite recipes. And I actually got this out of the Better Homes and Gardens magazine. And it's these pumpkin spice muffins that are right here in the front. Now, sometimes seeing things like this makes you want to pick these up when you're at the checkout counter at the store, because it's like, ooh, that looks good. Or if you're just kind of thumbing through and you're like, oh, that looks good. I'd like to try that. I want that recipe. So I made these and then I did what I always do. Either I love a recipe as it is, it's 1,000%, no improvement, whatever, right? It's a go. In this case, I thought these are great, but I think they could be just a tad better by just changing up a few of the ingredients, which is what I did, meaning I followed their recipe to the T, but then I added additional things to the recipe that was actually in this magazine. But you guys, these are delicious. Now, I have a friend who does not like pumpkin. She doesn't like the flavor of pumpkin, I guess, or whatever. These muffins don't really taste like pumpkin per se, like it's not tasting like a pumpkin pie or anything. It's more like a spice muffin. It's not necessarily like a pumpkin muffin, okay? And I think that once you taste them, you will agree, oh, this is a good spice muffin. There was a restaurant, they only have a couple left now, called Mimi's Cafe. And I love to go to Mimi's and get the Cobb salad, the chopped Cobb salad, oh my word, so good, with their spice muffin. It was delicious. So that's what these muffins remind me of. I have the oven preheated to 350 degrees. Okay, so in a small bowl, I'm going to mix 2/3 of a cup of granulated sugar. And I already pre-measured all this stuff so you guys wouldn't have to wait, because I value your time and I'm thankful you're here. All right, and then I have 3/4 of a cup of chopped pecans. Dumping that in, and then to this I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and this is going to be the topping that goes on top. Now you guys know I love cinnamon, so I'm going to put the teaspoon in here, and you already know I will add a little bit more because I love cinnamon. Okay, so there's that. Now this is our crumble that is going to go on top of our muffins. So I'm just going to combine this together until it looks like it's all incorporated. And I'm going to tell you right now, in looking at this, I want more cinnamon because it's still a little too sugary looking for me. I think it needs a little more. And I am keeping in mind that the batter itself has a lot of spice in it. So, okay, that looks better. Now we're going to do the dry ingredients, okay? So it's 2 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. So we're going to put that in there. And then it's 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And I'm going to be generous with the cinnamon in here, okay? And then 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. So let's do a teaspoon of this. Ooh, that's not going to fit in there. Okay, well, we're just going to put that in there. Alrighty, and then we're going to add I just put 2 pinches of clove, okay? Because we know that clove is like really strong. So I'm not going to measure. I'm just going to kind of shake it in there, okay, of clove. And then I'm doing a pinch of nutmeg. Again, I'm just going to sprinkle. Woo! It's kind of a little more than I want it, but anyway. Okay. And then 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Not baking powder, baking soda, okay? So I'm just going to add that in there. There we go. And 1 teaspoon of salt. So we'll put that 1 teaspoon of salt in there. There we go. There's our teaspoon of salt. Okay, so that takes care of our dry ingredients. All right, so now I'm just going to whisk this together to just incorporate the spices with the flour. So now we're going to set this aside, okay? And now we're going to do our wet ingredients, okay? So in this bowl, I am going to put 3 eggs. So I'm just going to dump those in there. And then I'm going to put in 3/4 of a cup of vegetable oil. And at this point, I'm going to break up these yolks just to kind of break up these eggs real quick here. And then to this, we're going to add a 1/4 of a cup of water. Alrighty. And then I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. And then a tablespoon of maple syrup. And you guys are probably wondering, so what other ingredients did you add versus what's in the recipe? That's a good question. I know the maple syrup is one. I know the cloves are one. I know the pumpkin spice is one. So all of those were additions that I made, and I can't remember the nutmeg. I don't know. Anyway, here's my recipe I'm sharing with you, okay? Which I think is divine, delicious, so good. To this, I'm going to add, I know this is a lot, so don't count your calories when you're eating these muffins, 2 1/3 cup of sugar, okay? So I'm adding this in. But I will tell you this, you know how sometimes you eat things and then you're like, that wasn't even good. That wasn't even worth the calories. In this case, it's worth the calories. Believe me, you won't be disappointed. And then to this mixture, I'm going to add 1 15-ounce can of pumpkin. Now, here's a question. Is this bowl going to be big enough? You know what I might do? I might just add it to the bigger bowl now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just kind of make a little well here in the center. Just kind of push all this dry to the side. And then I'm going to pour this right into the center of that. And this you don't want to over mix. You just want to mix until it comes together. And know that your batter will be lumpy, and that's okay. It's supposed to be lumpy, and you don't want to over mix it. So as soon as it's like, you know, blended together, whatever, then you want to go ahead and just fill your muffin cup. So now I'm putting in 1 15-ounce can of pumpkin. And this is just raw pumpkin. It is not the pumpkin pie filling. So make sure when you buy your pumpkin, there's actually a pumpkin like this, like this. But there's also pumpkin pie filling. So don't get confused because you have to read the front of the can so that you don't get the wrong thing. Okay? All right, so now I'm just going to mix all of this together until the flour is mixed in with these wet ingredients. Oh, and it smells wonderful already. I can already smell all the fall spices. And you guys, this is a perfect time to make these. Bring them to work to share with your friends with their morning coffee. Oh my word, you'll be the talk of the town. Or share with your neighbors, or bring them to church for your donuts and coffee in the morning. Everybody is going to love these. They are so, so good. And you're going to want to bring the recipe with you because everybody's going to ask you for it. Okay, this is blended. I'm stopping. It's done. Now I'm going to fill the cups. So I have 24 muffin liners in here, and now I'm just going to fill these up with a scoop of the dough. And you want to fill each cup 3/4 of the way because, as you know, when they bake, they're going to rise. So now I'm going to put the pecans and the cinnamon and sugar on top of each one. So I'm just going to go through here and just sprinkle some on the top, and then I'll do the same thing that I did with the batter. Once all the cups are full, then I go back through and put more on. Ooh, that was a lot. Somebody's going to get lucky on that one. All the goodness. These are really, really good. And if you don't like nuts or you can't eat nuts, you could certainly just do the cinnamon and sugar on top and leave out the pecans if you wanted to. But I will tell you, if you can eat them and you like them, then you're going to love these. They're so good. And these high wall cups are better than a regular cupcake liner. But if that's all you have, then of course, just use what you have. The higher wall paper lets you hold on to more of the topping, where the lower ones, you know, your stuff's probably going to fall off. And half of this muffin's goodness is from this wonderful topping that we're putting on top. Okay, I think we got it pretty good. All right. So we'll just put the rest in this one. Okay, so there we go. So now I'm going to put these in the oven for 25 minutes. And then once they come out, we're going to immediately remove them to wire racks to cool. And we'll let them cool for 10 minutes before we get into them. And believe me, it's tempting, but we're going to wait our 10 minutes. Okay, so I just took our muffins out of the oven, and I actually only cooked them for like 22 minutes. So just keep an eye on it for your own self as far as how your oven cooks. But don't they look delicious? So now I'm going to remove them from the pan and transfer them to a wire rack to cool for 10 minutes. Okay, look at our beautiful pumpkin spice muffins. And now comes the taste test. Look at that goodness. So let's try it out. And look at this beautiful plate from my dear friend Cheryl. So pretty. You know, if you guys drink your coffee out of beautiful cups, do it. Do it for yourself. Eat your treats and desserts on beautiful plates. Why have we all gone to paper plates? I do it myself, but you know what? Why not treat yourself? Use the fine china. And I ain't talking about a paper plate. So here's my happy little muffin, and I'm going to put some, I better get the butter first because I don't want to get cinnamon in there. Okay. So you guys, this is how you eat it. You must have butter. It is so good. So here we go. Oh my word, you guys. It is delicious. It is like a wonderful treat standing alone. You don't even need anything else with this. Just put them in a sealed container. Oh, look at that. Like that good, that goodness of sugar and pecans. It tastes like candied pecans. Oh my. You will make it more than one time this fall if you make it once. It is delicious. I love you guys. Go have a blessed day and be the light to somebody that might be in darkness today. I love you so much.